Okay.
Good morning. I'm so sorry that we're gathered here together in Zella's memory. Bring to heart, bring to mind your feelings, all of the different experiences, anecdotes, images of her, and let those be some sense of comfort and perspective as we gather here. The term for this moment in our tradition is that we are escorting a loved one to her place of rest. And that's our love and our bond, our sadness, but also our responsibility. It's not something we leave to someone else. We lived with her all the days of her life, and we now bring her to a place of dignity and peace and eternal rest. Eternal God, who are we as human beings in this world? We are like a breath, our days like a fleeting shadow. Teach us to number our days that we may attain hearts of wisdom. May people of integrity endure through the years, for in the end, all who live come to their peace. Adonai Yishmor Tzeitecha Uvoecha Me'ata ve'ad olam. May God preserve our going and our coming now and forever. May kindness, goodness, and all of the values that we remember about Zella follow us all the days of our lives. I want you to again think of her in so many ways that she enriched your life with love, with beauty, with kindness, with compassion, with thoughtfulness, with earnestness, with understanding. And today, what you are here to do, and what those of you joining us virtually are doing by your presence and support, is to renew the loving bonds that bind you to Zella, who has now gone the way of all of the earth. Mizmor leDavid, Adonai ro'i lo echsar bino deshe yarbitzeni, al mei menuchot yinahaleni, nafshi yishovev yancheni b'maglei tzedek leman shemo, gam ki elech begeit salmavet lo irara ki ata imadi, shiftecha umishantecha hema yinachamuni, taroch befanai shulchan neged tzorerai, dishanta v'Hashem en roshi, kosi revaya, ach tov v'chesed yudefuni kol yemei chayai, v'shavti beveit Adonai le'orech yamim. Interpretive words of the 23rd Psalm, the eternal God is my shepherd, I shall not want. As I lie down in green pastures beside still waters, I sense God's presence is with me. My life will renew, my paths remain true, for that is the godly way to remember and to grieve. Though I walk through a valley as dark as death, I fear no evil, for through those who embrace me, God is here. May only goodness and steadfast love follow me all the days of my life, and may I forever live with my memories as if dwelling in the house of the eternal God forever. You know, all of you so dear and loving to Zella, by your sadness this morning, you tell me two precious things. First, that you love her so much, of course, as I imagine she did love each and every one of you. And that at her passing, because of Zella's longevity and her achievement, her tough but gracious caring, it's hard to lose her. We all understand the sorrow of untimely deaths, but so too your grief at losing the wife, the mother, the grandmother, and dear relative whom you've always had, until today would want to keep. Length of days is a symbol of wisdom and virtue in Jewish tradition. The Proverbs read, length of days, years of life and well-being are the promise to a person who lives steadfastly by her love and her dignity. And this is most certainly Zella's legacy and today your tribute. Ed, I was touched by the story of how you and Zella met. 21 years ago, as you were on a bus to see the play Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, by chance you met, were seated together as if you were already a couple, and though it took a year to date and grow close, your bond had begun. And so what came to mind, Ed, when you told me that story were sweet lyrics from the show that speak to this moment. As you remember Zella, your closeness, and your years together, let me share these simple lyrics. May I return to the beginning. The light is dimming, and the dream is too. Our purpose today is to not let go of the dream. Instead, bring to heart and mind the vibrant and compelling images and memories of Zella and hope that they will sustain and carry you forward. The dreams of love and the memories of love lived never fade, but always inspire. To you, Miles and Jeffrey, pause now to appreciate your mother's love. It also endures. It will always endure. Recall how it was wholehearted, genuine, and deep. Your mother was a woman ahead of her times, born and raised in Brooklyn. Born and raised in Brooklyn, your mother achieved academic and scientific success at a time when few women did. She earned a Bachelor of Science degree in physics from Brooklyn College, and as you all know her story, went on to receive a Master's in Science and Physics from the University of Michigan. As an early and courageous pioneer in physics for women, she went on to have a distinguished career in computer science and security. She began at the National Institutes of Health and continued at the National Bureau of Standards for over 20 years. As an expert in computer science when the field was just beginning, she was one of the first women to edit a book on the topic. And I asked you how you think these interests came to her. And while we don't really know, I'm going to imagine within your mother two reasons. Math, computer science, and physics are tangible and concrete orders of measure and meaning. And perhaps for Zella, they reflected, therefore, her dignity, a sense of standards and certainty in a world that isn't and doesn't always honor such measures. After all, you remember her devotion to you, her family, her always reaching out to continue her learning. She kept the traditions and contacts of your family alive with love and dedication. She enjoyed life and loved investigating and sharing new frontiers in health and of the mind and spirit. She loved music and nature, her enthusiasm for life and kindness to everyone, which is so much a part of her soul, I think also explain her desire to see her efforts endure and stand the test of time, which by your love and all of your memories and the quality of her professional work, they did and they will. So honor Zella by remembering what brought her so much happiness. Miles and Jeff, recall your parents' happiness together. See Zella and Stanley at home as you were growing up. Married for 47 years, hear their voices in your own. Ed and all of you, cherish her resilience and ability to build a new life in San Diego that added so much to the fulfillment and goodness of her years. Ed, as you, Jeffrey, and everyone here and everyone online, Miles and your family, everyone who loves Zella is aware that in the course of her life, she knew sorrow, not only happiness. She knew emotional and physical challenges. No full and complete life could be so without the full gamut of human strivings. So at this hour, remember Lisa, honor Stanley, and at the same time, hold on to Zella's wisdom for life. I want to leave you with this lesson of our tradition. The Talmud records this instruction to children. Our sages teach, be careful in guarding the honor of your mother. In in memories that reflect her character and personality, in conversations that recall her concerns, in anecdotes that keep her spirit a part of your family life. That is how you will best guard your mother's honor. The best way to honor Zella's 95 years, her career, her life at home, her cultural and communal interests, her personal journeys, and her life story, the best way to honor her is this: celebrate that Zella saw it all. Then seek to see, experience, and discover all you can in tribute to her. I imagine this was very much her goal in life with you, and now your cherished trust in devotion to her life's purposes and her memories. Ed, would you like to come forward and offer your recollection? I'm doing okay.
Wrote something down as a farewell for Zella. I am thankful for the blessings in our past, the fine memories that I experienced with Zella, the great benefits that I gained being associated with a caring, gentle, generous, and loving wife. Her example has made me a better person. I hope others that came in contact with her also experienced the same feeling. She showed great strength in the face of some major obstacles she accomplished a long life. At the end, I tried to mitigate her pain, and at least she will rest in peace without pain. Love you.
So my name is Wadad. I'm Jeff's wife. Just say a few words about how I recall Zella, how she's been a part of over half of my life. I first met her in 1989 when Jeff and I traveled to New York, and she came up from the Washington, D.C. area to see what girl Jeff was bringing. Zella was all about and is all about family, and she welcomed me into the family, even though I'm not Jewish. She kept the family together by keeping up the lake house, which was a source of so many memories of my dear husband, Jeff, and his cousins and his brother, Miles. She wanted to keep that memory alive by buying other property where we would all come together and go to different places. She kept up the memory, she kept up the traditions of Passover and made sure that her family sustained the Jewish education and encouraged her children to grow in their tradition. She did love music. She always attended her granddaughter, our daughter Annalise's music lessons and went to all of her concerts. Her science career was important to her, and of course resonates with me and with Jeff, who are both scientists and electrical engineers. She brought Jeff to our family. She brought Ed to our family and enriched us all by being the only grandfather that Annalise has known, and also coming to us in lots of vacations, like in the Netherlands and in Tahoe and in New York and in Montana. We always went as a family. She explored health and well-being and was always looking to share this with other people in the hopes of alleviating their pain with what she learned. She sought out spirituality and loved life. She means so much to so many people, and I'm grateful to her for bringing Jeff to me in the strong man I love. She will be deeply grieved and missed by all.
Hi, I'm Zella's granddaughter, and she's gonna be with me everywhere I go. Her couch is in my room. I have so many memories of our Ed's beach house, and everyone's like, "Wow, where'd you get all these cool decorations?" And I say, "Oh, Zella collected them, or my grandma collected them." When people ask, where did you get these recipes? I got them from my grandma because that's one of our memories. We always used to bake together. Every time I do my homework, I can remember her saying, "Annalise, you have to do your homework," because I used to complain about doing it so much. And whenever I wait till after dinner to have dessert, that's what Grandma used to tell me, you have to wait. And, she came to all of my dance lessons, all of my singing lessons, and it's just incredible that she liked to hear my voice so much that she wanted to sit through all of my many mistakes. She was a wonderful person, and I'm glad I got to meet her and have my time with her. And it was a long time, these past few years, that she was in pain, and I'm glad she's safe now, wherever she is, and no longer in pain. So thank you all for being here, whether here or virtually. Thank you.
Jeff, if I can ask you to stand, and Ed, if you're able to, otherwise stay seated.
What's on Zoom?
We can't
Oh,
facilitate that. We're going to tear the ribbon to represent your heart, separated and torn at this moment of loss. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, dayan ha'emet. That's the meaning.
Oh, that's what I was saying, but he said that they couldn't do it.
Our memories are unique, as you shared so beautifully, unlike any other thoughts that we hold. Memories are not ideas. Memories are images we see with our mind's eye and feelings we sense in our hearts and souls. And since memories are not abstract, as you remember Zella, remember her in real time, in real experience with tangible, real things. And then know now, as we're going to place her to rest, and as we're going to recite the memorial prayer of our tradition, her memory for you is unlike any other memory or thought you will have. Hold to it uniquely, hold it preciously, and cherish it always. Let me ask those of you who are able to please rise. El mare rachamim shochahen b'meramim hamitzeh menucha nechona תחת כנפי השכינה, במחלות קדושים וטהורים, כזרע רקיע מזהירים, את נשמת צלותה בת יוסף ואסתר, שהלכה לעולמה, בגן עדן תהא מנוחתה, אהנה והרחמים, אסתיריה בסתר כנפיך לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתה, אדוני הוא נחלתה, ותנוח בשלום על משכבה, ונאמר Amen. God, we pray, full source of compassion, by your presence through us, grant peace to and remember the soul of Zella Goldner Ruthberg Silverstein, who has gone to her eternal rest. May Zella's memory endure as inspiration for deeds of goodness in all of our lives. May we always remember all that is worthy and righteous about her. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life. May Zella rest in dignity with your love always, and now in peace. Amen. We pray the soul of our dear wife, mother, and grandmother know peace. Our thoughts of her right now bring to mind the many blessings which God gave us through her. For through Zella, we were blessed with the joys of home. From her lips, we were taught kindness and compassion. In her affection, we were made to feel love. May we always cherish her memory as among the holiest treasures of our lives. By her sweet example, she tried to leave us. We now come to this place where her earthly body is being placed to rest. We pray that we may honor her precepts still. May her love and faithfulness that guarded and guided our lives and childhoods be forever written upon the tablets of our hearts and set up as a memorial before our eyes, that we may ever find grace and favor in the eyes of God and humanity. Al mikoma tavo b'shalom. May Zella go unto God in peace. Vayashov ha'afar ha'aretz kishahaya, v'haruach tashuv el ha'elohim asher netana. The dust returns to the earth as it was, but the spirit returns to God who gave it. We pray Zella's soul be bound up in the bond of life eternal, and that all of you in love and memory know comfort and meaning. Amen. If you want to gently place some earth into the grave, carefully. If you come back this way and stand with Ed, we'll recite the mourner's Kaddish in loving memory and tribute. If you wish, the words are on the page.
Oh.
We recite the Mourner's Kaddish as a statement of gratitude for Zella's life and memory for all that she taught and gave to us. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah ve'alma divra tilutei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei techol Beit Yisrael v'agala uvizman kariv v'imeru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam U'Yomei Amaya Yitbarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitba'ar V'Yitramam V'Yitnasei V'Yitadar V'Yitalev V'Yitalal Shmei Dekudisha B'Richu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata Tushbechata V'Nechemata Ta'amiran Ve'alma V'imeru Amen. Yehi Shlomo Rabba Min Shemaya V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imeru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imeru Amen. May you know God's presence of comfort and loving memory at all times. I want to suggest that if you take a moment, if you want to go stand in front of the Zoom camera and maybe see who's there, and if somebody would like to say something to you now personally, you can ask them to unmute and speak to you just as you're there around the iPad.
Hello, can I say something? I don't know if I can or not. I'm
We hear
Janet.
you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm Janet Clayman, and I lived with Zella and her parents at a very strenuous, a very bad time in my life after my mother passed away. And so I remember her as a student, a very diligent student at Brooklyn College, and a lovely person. Thank you. So,
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Zella's sister, sister's daughter, and my brother Michael is here, and my husband Michael, and Evelyn, her sister-in-law, Stanley's sister, had written something up. Evelyn loves writing poems and never passes up an occasion to do so. So here's one for her dear, dear sister, really, Zella. Zella and I were very close over many, many years, sharing life in joys and pleasures, there for each other's tears. Rest in peace, my dear sister, though we may be apart, the closeness that we shared will forever be in my heart. And that's from Evelyn. And we will miss Zella greatly.
I'm Katharina, and this is my husband, Craig. We're Wadad's sister and brother-in-law. And I just want to say how very much we join in mourning with you for the loss of Zella. Her devotion to family, including us, is something that we will always remember and we will always cherish. And we really feel deeply the loss of such a wonderful woman.
This is Miles, Zella's son, and on behalf of our family, I just want to thank all of you for attending this. My mother loved all of you. She loved life, as I think has been mentioned, and you all know. I chuckle and cherish the memory of her license plate that said "Love Life." And she had a will to live and to share and to help people that I think all of you experienced. And I think it can't be overstated what a pioneer she was professionally. She did so with courage and resolve and humility. But she pushed ahead at a time when, as you look back, that was not an easy thing to do. Um, we celebrate people today who are pioneers. I think my mother did that without celebration, just because that's who she was and it was the right thing to do. So the standards of excellence and dedication and learning went side by side with her love of all of you and her love of life. So I am grateful for everything that she's done for all of us in the family. And I'm grateful that she lived such a long and full life and is now resting in peace, because these last years have not been easy. And I think it needs to be said that Ed was delivered from somewhere far away to someplace very near to help my mother in her time of need. And no one could have been more dedicated or devoted or helpful than Ed has been all these years to my mother, and in turn to all of the rest of us. So thank you to Ed for that profoundly from the family. And of course, Jeff and Wadad and Annalise have shared on a more day-to-day basis all of the pleasures of being with my mother than some of the rest of us who are far away were able to do. And we are grateful to them as well. This is finally, I think, a happy occasion and should be a celebration, because my mother would not have wanted it any other way.
I just wanted to add, I'm Catherine, to talk about her great love for her grandchildren. And we know how she was close physically to Annalise and how important Annalise was to her. But I also want to say when she could, I remember fondly her coming up for the kids' birthdays for Stephanie and Jeremy, often with Roz, with her companion, sometimes with Evie. The little troop would come up, and she was there for every birthday, playing Legos with them and playing with their toys. And she loved her grandchildren very much. And that's a blessing. I just want to say there is a link I sent to everyone, a board, that if you don't want to say something now, or if you have some words that you want to send or share pictures or thoughts, you can add them to the memorial wall that will be there for the family to see. And you can do that at any time at your convenience, if you want. And I'm also recording this, so if anyone wants to share it with anyone, just let me know.
Thank you, Catherine. That means a lot to all of us.
Okay. Do you want one? Two. I'll grab that right now.
I don't know, this is Miles again. For the folks who are there at the cemetery in person, I don't know how you want to proceed at this point, but we're all grateful to have been included in this Zoom service. It's certainly a phenomenon we've all experienced this year so many times, and sorry we have to be experiencing it for this sad occasion, but ultimately a happy one to celebrate my mother's life. Can you still hear us out there in San Diego?
Yeah, we can still hear.
Well, it's a joy to see
I-
the faces of so many people we haven't seen in so long. We welcome separate phone calls or emails or texts or whatever from anyone who cares to, and otherwise, it's just really wonderful to see all of you.
Or half our faces.
Yeah.
Jeff,
Now the process is easy.
Jeff, should we be staying on or should we sign off now?
I
I
think,
think we're
I think
signing off.
it's, yeah, I think we're signing off.
All
The
right.
process now, the cemetery, as soon as everyone leaves, the cemetery crew will come in, they'll bring the tractors in, they'll put the lid on, they'll fill it in with dirt and everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
It was wonderful seeing you.
Be well, everybody.
Put the-
Bye.
Bye.
I am.